What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and in today's video I continue the series where I bring you 10 cards that I have noticed have been doing exceptionally well in the market as of recently, and the cards I'll be showing you I believe are a very healthy mixture of both vintage and modern cards, so there's something for everybody in today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. A quick shout out to today's video sponsor. It is KantoShark.com, the ultimate Pokemon card marketplace. The KantoShark.com marketplace has recently listed some breathtaking new inventory consisting of authentic vintage booster boxes, tons of Charizards, and even some new One Piece cards are now available. And new products and cards are added to the marketplace each and every week. They have grails that have been graded by PSA, BGS, CGC, and even TAG. If you're in the market for legitimate Pokemon card grails, look no further than KantoShark.com. I'll put a link to their website in the description of this video. Please support the channel by go checking them out. I really appreciate it. Alright folks, let's do some market talk in today's video, starting off with the number 10 card that I have seen in the past week or so take a significant rise in value would have to be the Full Art Cynthia from Sun and Moon Ultra Prism. Step aside, Lily. Cynthia's coming through. Little old Cynthia was selling just a couple of months ago as a PSA 10 for about $535. Here is another sale for $520. But recently, this card has shot up to $740 as a PSA 10. And folks, that is a nice 42% increase on this gal from Ultra Prism. I remember opening up a case of Ultra Prism and I pulled both the Cynthia and the Lily. It was a great experience. This is the number 10 card on today's list. The number 9 card on today's video is a vintage one, and it's coming from a very explosive set. As of recently, EX Team Rocket returns. We have this Rocket's Articuno EX that was selling as a PSA 10 a month or so ago for about $2,105, but had a very recent sale of about $3,150, which is a 50% increase on this legendary bird. And like I said, EX Team Rocket Returns has been doing exceptionally well. So many of the cards from that set have been skyrocketing recently, and this is one of them. The number 8 card in today's video is a comeback kid story. It is the first edition Eevee from Jungle, a card that was notorious for reaching nearly $1,000 in value as a PSA 10. You heard that right, folks. This card was selling a month or so ago for about $201, again for about $185. But we have seen a spike in the value of this card, recently selling an auction for about $245, again for $280. And that is a 51% increase on the value of this common card from Jungle set. And like I said, this card used to go for nearly $1,000. It did eventually bottom out to, I think, below $100, but now it's up to about $280. It's not too bad, right? The number 7 card I kind of touched on in this past weekend's auction recap. It is the Gold Medal Charizard card from Celebrations. This guy was selling as a PSA 10 for around $2,175. But check out the recent sales here. It sold in auction for $3,150, $3,352, all the way up to $3,551, which is a 63% increase on this quite difficult card to grade. When you look at the pop report, there are only a couple hundred graded a PSA 10. It's a tough gem mint rate, and it's the number 7 on today's list. The number 6 card has seen several thousands of dollars increase over the past few months. It is this Espeon EX from Unseen Forces. This card was selling back in late December as a PSA 10 for $5,520, which is a very impressive price. But the most recent sale of this card in auction was for $9,150. So that would be about a 66% increase, or about $3,500. It's really no surprise when you see vintage evolutions like this going up in value, considering how popular they are nowadays. This is the number 6 card on today's list. The number 5 card is probably the cheapest on the list today, but it's still very noteworthy. It's the Radiant Charizard from Pokemon Go. In PSA 10, this card was selling not that long ago for about $46, but some reason or another, this card has recently spiked, selling in auction for about $79, up to about $81, which is a 76% increase. Now, I personally can't stand this Charizard design. I think it's one of the worst Charizards of all time, but man, we're seeing some increases in this card as a PSA 10. The number 4 card comes again from EX Unseen Forces, and this Tyranitar EX in PSA 10 was selling for about $2,276, but recently has sold for $4,018. This is a confirmed paid for sale, which would be about a 77% increase. Now, I don't know what it is about Unseen Forces, but there are a lot of cards from this set that have been booming as of recently. This is the number 4 card on today's list. Getting down to the final 3, we have this Umbreon Sword and Shield promo card in PSA 10 that was selling a few months ago for about $128. Here's another sale for $120. But the most recent auction realized price of this card was for about $227.50, which is an 89% increase. And I thought this was actually the McDonald's promo card when I first saw it, which I gotta go grade a few of those. But yeah, I wasn't expecting this card to come up as much as it has. The number 2 card comes from XY Breakthrough in this full art Mega Mewtwo EX. Boy, this card was selling earlier this year for about $381 as a PSA 10, but most recently has sold in auction for about $891, all the way up to $955, which is a very nice 150% increase on this Mewtwo EX. I think Mewtwo is definitely one of the top 10 greatest Pokemon of all time. You really can't argue that, right? Come on. Come on. Which brings me to the number 1 card, and it's also a Mewtwo. This Mewtwo EX Black Star promo from the XY era had sold last for $1,350, but check out this recent sale of $3,585. That, folks, is a 165% increase on this Black Star promo. So, folks, what do you think about the cards in this video? Overrated? Underrated? Rated? Do you have any cards that you've seen increasing lately? Leave a comment below letting me know. Maybe I can touch on them in next week's video. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I got, and I will catch you all in my next one.